Decepticons, attack!
Hey everyone, Soundwave here. Today we'll be doing a remastered series of reviews. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Combiner Wars Devastator box set. So, to start off, we're going to take a quick look at the box. Yes, I still have the original box after all these years. Yep, so up front we have a picture, a very nice image of Devastator terrorizing the battlefield with a bunch of like puny Autobots shooting up at him, trying to defeat him. He's like reaching towards the screen. He's like, I'm gonna get ya. We got the 6 Constructicons down here, big Transformers logo on the side. On the side of the box, we just have some product details and as well as a barcode. On the other side of the box, we have another big image of Devastator with the big Combiner Wars symbol, Combiner Wars logo on the side. On the top, have the 6 Constructicons, which in the order of these reviews is we're going to be starting off with the leg bots. We're going to be starting off with Scrapper and Mixmaster. Scrapper, of course, we'll be taking a look at in a moment. Then we're going to do the torso bots. We're going to do Long Haul and Hook. And then we'll finish it off with the arm bots, Bone Crusher and Scavenger. On the bottom, big Combiner Wars logo up there. And on the back of the box, you have a big product shot which shows the actual height of Devastator. I'd say this is about accurate. And you do get a brief bio there. And that's basically it for that humongous box. Another thing you get with the box is you do get a collector's card, which shows that same image of Devastator that was on the front of the box. And here it is compared with Fort Max's collector's card. Yeah, but unlike Fort Max, there are no stats on the back, which is kind of a bummer. And moving right along, here we have Combiner Wars Scrapper. And this is a remastered review of Combiner Wars Scrapper. I will leave the original linked down in the description so you can watch it before it eventually gets deleted. Yeah, so I'm doing remaster reviews of these Combiner Wars Constructicons in preparation for the almighty 86 movie Devastator, which I already have Long Haul and Hook on pre-order, and I am waiting for Scrapper and Bone Crusher to be released so I can go ahead and track them down as well. And Mixmaster and Scavenger will be released in the fall, so hopefully I can get my hands on them so we can see how this set compares with the Studio Series version. So let's get a closer look at the details. You do got this nice lime green plastic here, which loads of molded and sculpted detailing. Got a Decepticon sticker right there. Nice metallic blue paint for the windshields there. I do like how the canopy looks on the Studio Series version better, because I think I just love how the Studio Series canopy is more accurate to the G1 toy. Do have some nice rolling wheels, which are pinned on it, and and this is supposed to. And I like that there's 2 different approaches with these sets. So the Combiner Wars set of Constructicons is more going for like a little kid's toy kind of feel, whereas taking a look at the 86 Devastator, you have more of like a collector's item. So there's the bottom, pretty simple transformation, and he does roll very smoothly on all 4 of his wheels. And as well as the bucket can articulate at 2 separate points. So there you have that. And for size comparisons, we only got 3 comparisons to do here. We have concept art Megatron. Still waiting to see how that 86 Megatron looks. Here he is with Prime. And here he is with the old Studios. I can't believe I'm calling this thing old, but I've had this thing in my collection for like 5 years now. The Revenge of the Fallen Scrapper. that. To transform Mixmaster into his robot mode, again, since this thing is going for like a kid's toy type of feel, it's very simple. So you just want to take the bucket, just collapse it back, and take the arms, and just fold them out, and fold out the hands. Take his head, extend it out. Take these sections right here, fold them down. Take the panels and just fold them back and split them, and they will just fill out the legs like that. And with all of that said, here we have Scrapper in robot mode. And he's a good-looking G1 Scrapper. I very much like it, so let's start off with the head sculpt right there. Got some nice silver paint there for the face. Got some nice red there for the visor. Moving on down, we do have a nice Decepticon symbol right there on the chest. With some more red, nice red paint and metallic silver paint. Got some nice silver thighs. And moving on down to the feet, again, that nice lime green plastic there. As far as articulation goes, the head is under ball joint, so you can just wiggle it around. You can look up that far, can look down that far. Head can do a full 360. The arms can rotate, can do a full 360. They can move in and out. Due to transformation, he does have a butterfly joint. Nothing at the elbow, and he does have a little bicep rotation, and nothing at the wrist. But his hands can move in and out. He does not really have much at the waist. Legs can move forward, far back, about that far outward. You can do the full splits. You got thigh rotation, which is very snug on mine. You got 90 degrees of bend at knee, and the feet, you just get ankle pivot. And as far as for accessories go, this set does come with a lot of accessories, but I personally like to have him hold this smaller blaster right here. So there you go. And for size comparisons, here he is with concept art Megatron. Here he is with the Revenge of the Fallen Scrapper. And here he is with Prime. To transform Scrapper back into his bulldozer mode, you want to take the head, collapse it down, take the hands, fold them in. You want to take these sections right here of the legs and just untab them and fold them up, and they will slot together like so. And then this section right here will slot into a hole right in Mixmaster's butt. There you go. No, Scrapper. So then take these sections right here and just fold them up. There you go. Take the hand, take the arms, just snap them into place. Same for the other arm, and then take the bucket and just extend it out right there, and there you have Scrapper back in his alt mode. So that was my review of Combiner Wars Scrapper. All in all, he's a pretty good figure. He poses well. His transformation is nice and simple, and he's very nicely painted and sculpted. There's not really much to say about each individual Constructicon, because like really the main event of this entire set is Devastator himself. So I don't really have much to say about each individual Constructicon in this set, but yeah, he's a good figure. So don't forget to check out my other reviews, and I will see you in the Mixmaster video. Combiner Wars Mixmaster, the part 2 to my remastered Combiner Wars Devastator reviews, and this is, I gotta say, this figure is probably the weakest one out of the whole set for me personally. So let's get a closer look at the details of Mixmaster. We got more of that nice lime green plastic that was present on Scrapper there. That's nice blue there for the windshield. Some nice silver smokestacks. Get the mixing drum. Got 6 wheels there. Some nice silver there for the back. Here. And a lot of people say that this is the front of Mixmaster's truck mode, but I personally think that it's this side, and I'm going to tell you why. So in a lot of incarnations of G1 Devastator, the front of Mixmaster cab always forms the foot. And as you can see, that's the foot right there. And also, if this wasn't the front of the cab, then there wouldn't be the smokestacks here. Very simple underside there. Does roll along the ground nicely as well. And for size comparisons, here he is with 86 Prime. Here he is with Revenge of the Fallen Mixmaster. Here he is with Megatron. And here he is with Scrapper. Now to transform Mixmaster into his robot mode, like with Scrapper, it is fairly simple. So you take this section right here, fold it up, fold this section up like so, and then you're going to make sure that this tab fits into this groove right here underneath. That should lock that in place. Take the arms, fold them out like that. Then take the legs, just fold them down and split them. And there we have Mixmaster in robot mode. And I have some gripes with him. Like, don't get me wrong, he's good looking overall, but I do have a few gripes with him. For one, the head. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a pretty good head sculpt. Nice silver there for the face, some red there for the eyes, and I like how his head is inspired by the Decepticon symbol right there. But one thing I do not like about the head is with all this stuff in the way, you do get limited articulation, and it's kind of like hard for me because I have big hands. But even for since this is meant to be like a toy for children, I can see kids having a hard time posing the head here because you can't really get him to look up or down, and his head can rotate around, but that's all you can pretty much get with all this stuff in the way. The arms can rotate and do a full 360. They can move in and out. And you do have a bend at the elbow, but a problem with mine is that this likes to pop off. You do get elbow rotation, nothing at the wrist, nothing at the waist. Legs can move forward that far, and back not at all. You see what I mean? This always likes to fall off. Outward, do the full splits, thigh rotation, 90 degrees of bend at the knee, and pivot. So yeah, definitely one of the weaker Constructicons, if not the weakest out of this entire set. Just mainly due to his limited posability and the fact that his arm likes to fall off on mine. As far as weapons go, again, this set does come with a lot of accessories, but I personally like to have him hold one of these as a gun/sword. Now for some size comparisons, here he is with 86 movie Optimus Prime. Here he is with Revenge of the Fallen Mixmaster, who is about half the size of him. Here he is with Megatron. And finally, here he is with Scrapper. Now to get Mixmaster back into his truck mode, it's very simplistic. All of these guys have very simplistic transformations. So you just want to fold that down, fold down his head, just close that back up, take the legs and join them together, and then just feed the heels through this gap in the mixing drum, and they will just lock into place like that. Straighten out his arms and collapse them in, and they will just tab into place. We'll do the same with the other arm. And Mixmaster back in truck mode. So that is Combiner Wars Mixmaster. Definitely one of the weaker Constructicons out of this entire set due to his limited posability and the fact that his arm likes to fall off. But other than that, he is a pretty good-looking Mixmaster. But I just hope that the 86 version will fix those issues that are present with this one. So yeah, I will leave a link to the original review of Mixmaster in the description so you can watch that before it eventually gets deleted. And I will see you in the long haul video. Taking a look at Combiner Wars Long Haul. This is part 3 of my remastered series of reviews of Combiner Wars Devastator, leading up to the release of 86 Devastator. So, as always, we're going to take a quick look at the details here. Got some nice silver there for the headlights, black there for the front grille, nice Decepticon symbol up front there, nice black for the smokestacks. Got these big monster truck style tires. That's a nice silver there for the gas tanks. There's the back. You can just see like a bunch of those are his legs right there. And here's the bucket. The bucket doesn't really tip or dump or anything. But the bottom, you can see a lot of this nice purple plastic along with these sections right here. And I'll go over these. And I'll go over what these are in part 7. Yeah, he does go very smoothly, and I honestly gotta say it, like, Long Haul, he's definitely the muscle of the group. Like, he's definitely the largest figure in this entire set, aside from Devastator himself. Yeah, he's a big boy. He's the muscle. So, there you go. And for size comparisons, here he is with Combiner Wars Scrapper from part 1. Here he is with Combiner Wars Mixmaster from part 2. Here he is with his Revenge of the Fallen counterpart. Here he is with Megatron. And here he is with Prime. So there you go. Now he can store all of the accessories you get with the set in the dump truck bucket. So I'm just going to go over how those store. So we're going to take this big gun right here. There's a big slot that will fit into this big tab right here. That just slots in right there. We take the little gun from Scrapper. That will just slot. Oh, you might want to do this one first. Yep, so that slots in there. There we go. Then you take the shield here, this post, plug into a port right in the front of the dump truck. Then you take the swords here, and they will just clip into place right here, right in the back, on these 2 clips. And then we take the missile pods. Now the missile pods, the instructions tell you to store it in these ports right here, but on mine, when you do that, you get a big nasty crack that appears. So instead, what I like to do is I like to fold up the handles on these missile pods and then just have them sit there, like not plug in or anything. So yep, he can store all the accessories. So now let's get Long Haul into his robot mode, his hilarious looking robot mode. To get Long Haul into his robot mode, you're going to want to take these blue sections right here, just untab them on the sides. You want to take this front grill section and just untap it right there from that groove. You want to take this bucket section right here. You're going to pull up on the bucket and push down on these two slabs here, like that. That will free all of this up. There we go. We're going to take these sections right here and just unclip them from the sides. Then we're going to take this entire assembly right here, and it will reverse. I'm going to take the entire assembly and rotate it around like this. There we go. That just rotates right there on a nice tight ratchet joint. Fold these sections up. Tab that in. We're going to fold them up the rest of the way, and they will slot into some tabs. And then we're going to fold the bucket down. It'll just soft tab it into place. I'm going to take the legs, move them out. I recommend moving them out one click each. Take the feet, fold them out. There you go, just get them standing right there. And the last thing you want to do is flip up his head. And there we have Long Haul in robot mode. And that is just hilarious. He's so chunky. I love it though, but he's just so darn chunky. So let's get a close look at that head sculpt. We got a nice head sculpt, all decked out in silver there with some red for the visor. We got the nice Decepticon symbol in the front grill, comes the chest. Got some nice big thighs there. All the energy he eats just goes right to his thighs. These stubby little feet, these stubby little arms. The proportions on this guy are just hilarious. Oh my gosh. This will never not be hilarious to me. Just how chunky they made this guy. As for weapons, since he is a big chunky boy, I like to have him holding this big gun right here, which will just peg into his hand right there. And I also like to have him holding the shield right there. There we go. He's a big dude. He deserves to carry some heavy weapons. Now for some size comparisons, here he is with Megatron. Here he is with Revenge of the Fallen Long Haul, who is a beefy dude in his own right. Here he is with Prime. Scrapper. And Mixmaster. To get Long Haul back in his truck mode, you're going to want to push his head down, take the feet, fold them in and make sure they snap into place. Press the legs together, take the bucket, untab it, then you're going to want to take the waist, rotate it 180, take the arms, collapse them down, take this front nose section and just fold it up. And make sure that the arms tab into the sides of the body. We want to make sure that the hands tab into the sides of the legs. And so while that is situated, we can then coordinate all of this back. Make sure that the front grill section tabs into place, as well as this bucket section here. Make sure you get it all nice and squozen. And there we have Long Haul back in truck mode. And there you have it. There is my review of Combiner Wars Long Haul. He's definitely the muscle of the group. and the biggest bot of this whole set. But I like him. He's a decently well-made figure, and I can't wait to see how he compares with the 86 version. So I will leave a link down to the original long haul review, which will end up being deleted when Hook's review is online. And I will see you in part 4. Taking a look at Combiner Wars Hook. This is part 4 of 7 of the remastered Combiner Wars Devastator reviews in preparation of 86 Devastator. So as always, we're gonna take a quick look at the details. We got some nice silver there for the front headlights. Got Decepticon symbol right there on the top of the canopy. This nice blue, these nice blue plastic section right here, and this little flap here, and I'll show you what that does in part 7. We got 6 wheels are pinned on, and if you turn them over to the bottom, there's his head. You can see his head down there. Hello. You got another nice Decepticon symbol on the bottom. And as far as rolling goes, he got pretty smoothly. So there you have that. For comparisons, we're just going to do the usual comparisons that have been present throughout this series. Here we have 86 Prime. Here we have Concept Art Megatron. And now for the previous Constructicons. Here we have Scrapper from part 1. Mixmaster from part 2. And Long Haul from part 3. He's still so chunky. So there you have that. And as far as accessories, well, not accessories, articulation goes in this mode, you only get one, and that is the boon here can raise up and down. You can't extend, unfortunately, but I do think that will be a thing on the 86 version. So that's basically it for the construction crane mode. So now let's get Hook into his robot mode. To get Hook into his robot mode, it is fairly simple, much like the other Constructicons in this set. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take the construction crane and just slide it to the side. And we're going to come down here, and we're going to take these side sections right here and just fold them out and down. That will make his arms. Then we're going to just put the camera up so I have some room to work. We're going to take this entire section right here and accordion it down on this double hinge, and it will just sit right over that flap. Then we're going to take the elbows, just unlock them, fold out the hands, take the feet, fold them down, split the legs, take this section right here, untab it, shimmy it down, and it will just tab in like that. Take the leg, just tab it together. Do the same for the other leg. And when all of that is said and done, here we have Hook in robot mode. And another fantastically looking robot mode. So, as always, let's take a quick look at the head sculpt right there. I love the silver on these guys. That nice, like, metallic silver paint on the faces of these guys. But his head does look kind of weird, though, with that little... It looks a little weird and boxy. But it's G1, so everything is boxy at this point. So, and nice detailing there for the chest. That nice Decepticon symbol done in silver paint. Silver for the thighs, silver for the shins. Nice lime. Again, I love this lime green plastic that they have going for these guys. But that is a very unfortunate place to have that Hook end up in robot mode. As far as articulation goes, the head is on a ball, so you can wiggle it around. He can look up and down. It can do a full 360. Arms can rotate, can do a full 360. It can move in and out. Do have a little bit of bicep rotation. Double over 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. Not really much at the wrist, but they can move in and out due to the way he transforms. Nothing at the waist. Legs can move forward that far, back that far, outward, full splits. Side rotation, less than 90 degrees of bend at the knee. Feet can move up, move down a little bit, and you do get a pivot. So, for posability is on par with the rest of the Constructicon boys. And as far as weapons go, I do like to give him, like, the other sword. Like, I like to have him and Mixmaster holding the swords. Yeah, so, there you have that. Size comparisons, here he is with 86 Prime, about the same height. Here he is with Concept Art Megatron, a little taller than Hook, just like a tiny bit. Here's Scrapper from Part 1, Mixmaster from Part 2, and finally the big beefer himself, Long Haul from Part 3. Now to get Hook back into his alt mode, you want to take the hands, fold them in, and connect the elbows right there, just like that. You want to take this entire section and just accordion it up on this double hinge. Then there's a tab right there, which will fit into a groove right in there. So make sure all that lines up and snaps into place. Same for the other side. Now for the legs, you're going to want to undo this tab right here, fold this panel up, undo this tab right here, and shimmy all this down, and then we'll just tab it like that. The same with the other leg. Take two legs and join them together. And the last thing you want to do is just take this section and slide it back to where it was before. And there we have Hook back in truck mode. So there you have my review of Combiner Wars Hook. Only 2 more Constructicons to go before we can slap all these guys together and make the mighty Devastator. And he's a solid entry into this remastered series of reviews. I do quite enjoy him. Yeah. But a few things to talk about here. There is a small peg hole right there, and the peg on mine kind of snapped, so I kind of wish that there had been a better way to reinforce this connection, to better solidify this connection, because all you have is this one tab and slot right there. So I wish there was a better, more stronger way to solidify that connection when in truck mode. But other than that, he is a solid figure. So I will leave a link down in the description to his old review, which will be deleted when Scavenger's review is online. And I will see you in part 5 where we do Scavenger. Hey everyone, Soundwave here. Today we're going to be taking a look at Combiner Wars Scavenger. This is the second to last part of all of these Constructicon reviews before we can form the mighty Devastator. So, as always, we're going to take a quick look at the details. You got some nice purple plastic there for the treads, lots of molded and sculpted detailing over there. Got the nice Decepticon symbol on the underside, as well as here after the canopy. Got a nice silver there for the piston on the buckets there. Very nicely detailed excavator mode. And he does have treads, but he also has these rolling wheels on the bottom, so we can roll very nicely. And the bucket can move up and down, and it can swivel as well. So there you have that. And for size comparisons, we got a lot to do Today we got 86 Prime. We have Concept Art Megs, Scrapper, Mix Master, Long Haul, Hook, and finally Scavenge, his Revenge of the Fallen counterpart. And you are not going to see this for the robot mode comparison because he's seen better days, so I'm not going to transform him for the robot mode comparison. To get Scavenger into his robot mode, first thing you want to do is collapse the bucket back. Take the treads, just fold them down to the sides. Take this panel right here, flip it down, fold up his head, close it back up. Take this section right here, fold it in and tab it in, shift this up, flip out the hand, do the same on the other side while also folding in this canopy. Flip that out. You want to take this section right here and unpeg it like so. It pegs in very securely. You're going to want to take, and then you're going to take this entire crotch assembly and just snap it in. Make sure these hip joints snap into place. Extend the tread. Fold out the feet. Extend the tread. Fold out the feet. Get him. Let's get him standing. And there we have Scavenger in robot mode. And he looks a little weird. I'm not gonna lie, he looks a little weird, especially that mouth plate there. Look, it looks a little weird. But again, I love the silver on these guys' head sculpts there, with the nice red for the visor, silver there for the chest, red for the abs, red for the shoulders. I mean, nice blue there for the waist and the legs. Purple. Getting my colors mixed up today. It's nice black there for the wrists. And on the back, snap the bucket there, collapsed on the back. Yeah. He looks pretty good, but a little weird, but still pretty good. As far as articulation goes, the head is on a ball joint, so you can wiggle it around. You can look up about that far, you can look down that far. Head can do a full 360. Arms can rotate, do a full 360, can move in and out. It shift up and down due to transformation. Does have 9 degrees of bend at the elbow with some elbow rotation due to that being on a ball joint. This can move up and down due to transformation. Nothing at the waist, but like due to the way he transforms, that's not really possible. Legs can move forward that far, back not that far, outward, can do the full splits, thigh rotation, but a little less than 9 degrees of bend at the knee, and you just get a pivot. Posability is limited, but on par with these Constructicons. For accessories, I like to have him and Bone Crusher wielding these giant missile pods, and I'll tell you why that is in part 7. And I just knocked everything over. I like to have him and Bone Crusher wielding these big missile pods, which I will explain why I like to have that be in part 7. Yeah, but he can hold it effectively, but it is a little heavy for the ball joints in his arms, and it just flops down. But yeah, he can hold the missile pods and just like fire away at any unfortunate Autobots. And for size comparisons, here we have 86 Prime, Concept Art Megatron, we got Scrapper, Mix Master, Long Haul, And I know I said I wasn't going to do this guide for the robot mode comparisons, but I changed my mind. Here we have Revenge of the Fallen counterpart with the DNA kit. I have the DNA kit on mine. So there you go. To get Scavenger back into his vehicle mode, then we'll fold down this panel, flip in the head, close it up, flip in the head, fold this back, shift all this down, and make sure it tabs in at various. Well, before we do that, we're gonna undo the crotch section right here, snap that in, and you don't want to. You want to unhook these sections right here and just let the legs dangle down like that. Now we can close all this up. There's a tab there and a tab there, which broke on mine, but it still fits in. And we're gonna do the same on the other side. We're just gonna fold all this up and make sure to get this canopy section folded up as well. We're gonna just take all this, fold it in. There we go. Now let's turn our attention to the treads. I want to collapse the treads, fold in the feet, make sure they snap in. Collapse the treads, fold in the feet, make sure they snap in. You're going to make sure that these two tabs line up with these slots right here. And you're going to want to make sure those tabs line up as well. Just get all that tabbed in. And then last thing you want to do is extend the bucket. And there we have Scavenger back in vehicle mode. So there you have Combiner Wars Scrapper. Scavenger. Yeah, he's a good figure. But we only have one more Constructicon left to go before we can combine all these guys together and form the mighty Devastator. So I will leave a link down to his original video in the description before it is eventually deleted. And I will see you next time when we do the final part of this series, which will be Bone Crusher. Hey everyone, Soundwave here. Today we're going to be taking a look at Combiner Wars Bone Crusher, the final Constructicon in this series of remaster reviews before we can form the mighty Devastator. So let us take a look at the details here. He's caked in the same nice lime green plastic that the other 5 were made of. Got some nice silver there for the grill there. Got the Decepticon symbol there on the bucket. The treads have a lot of beautiful molded and sculpted detail. Got the back, nice grill. Got another nice grill there at the back, picked out in black. And we got the purple there for the canopy. And just like with Scavenger, he does have treads, but he also has rolling wheels, so he does roll smoothly. And for size comparisons, here we have his Bayverse counterpart. Here we have 86 Prime. And 86 Megs. I mean, a concept art Meg, not 86 Megs. He's not out yet. 86 Megatron is not out yet. And now let's bring in the rest of the Constructicon crew. So we have Long Haul. And then here is Scrapper, Mixmaster, Hook, and Scavenger. And here are all of our Constructicon boys, and they look quite good together as a group here. So now let's get Bone Crusher here into his robot mode. To transform Bone Crusher into his robot mode, it's basically has a similar transformation to Scavenger. So what we're going to do first is take the bucket, fold it up, take the treads, just untab them here, and untab them like so, and they will just fold down. Take this section right here, fold it back, take this canopy, fold it up, and just crack this section like an egg. Take these side sections here, fold them out. Take this section right here and fold it up. That reveals his head. Then just take this entire assembly and just accordion it in on that double hinge, and it will just lock together like so. And you do have a tab slot connection right here at the bottom, so make sure all of this is nice and plugged in. There you go. Then you're going to want to take the bucket and shift it down so that way it is flush against the chest. Fold down his arms. And now let's move on to the legs. Basically the same thing, basically the same transformation as Scavenger, where you extend them and flip out the feet. There we go. And then you just take the crotch and just tab the two halves together. And I will get into, and I will talk more about the problem with how his crotch transforms later on in the video. But there we have Bone Crusher in robot mode. And another blocky Constructicon bot. I really quite like him. And I can't say this enough, but I love the silver on these guys. Unfortunately, mine has a paint chip right there on the nose. But I do really like the silver paint on these guys. Like especially like the paint on the chest. Bone Crusher's chest is beautifully painted with this nice purple, red, and silver with the nice Decepticon symbol right there in the middle. There, got some nice silver and purple for the arms. Same detailed legs as Scavenger on the back. Pretty clean transformation. But before I get into articulation, let us turn our attention to the crotch region of Bone Crusher, because I do have my fair share of problems with it. It does not like to stay together. It does not like to stay together, like, whatsoever. Because every time I'll try to pose him, it'll just do that. It'll just split. And I am really glad that the 86, well, I'm hoping it looks like the 86 Bone Crusher has fixed this issue, but I'm really glad. But if that's the case, I'm really glad that they did fix that issue. That just it gets annoying with his crotch falling apart like that when I try to pose him. Speaking of posability, the head's on a ball joint. Can wiggle it around. You can look up that far. You can't really look down. Head can do a full 360. Arms can rotate, do a full 360. They can move in and out. Due to transformation, they do have a butterfly joint. And they do have a slight bicep rotation. This have over 90 degrees of bend at it's a double jointed elbow due to transformation, and he does have elbow rotation. Nothing at the wrists, nothing at the waist due to the way he transforms. Legs can move forward that far, backward that far, outward. He can do the full splits, and then his crotch likes to fall apart again, which is just annoying. And as far as the knees go, he does have thigh rotation, 90 degrees, a little less than 90 degrees of bend at the knee rotation, and you just get pivot. It's basically the same posability as Scavenger, and on par with the rest of the Constructicon team there. And for accessories like Scavenger, I like to have him holding the missile pods, which again I will explain in part 7 why I like to have him holding the missile pods. But he does look quite good with the missile pod in hand. Now for size comparisons, here he is with 86 Prime. Here he is with his Bayverse counterpart there. Here he is with Concept Art Megatron. And now let's bring in the rest of his Constructicon brethren. Here we have Long Haul. We have Mixmaster. We have Scrapper, Hook, and Scavenger right there. And they look quite good together. Nice to have the team all together here. They look so awesome. But now that we have reviewed all 6 Constructicons, let us form the mighty Devastator in part 7. Now to get Bone Crusher back into his vehicle mode, you're going to want to take the shovel here and fold it down. You want to take the arms, splay them out, and fold them in. You're going to want to fold this up, and then just detach this torso section and split it. Take the head, fold it down, fold down the canopy, take the arms, and just join them together via a series of pegs. They will just peg together like that. And then take this section right here, clip it in, and that will just peg in like that to solidify it. Let me just fix this real quick. I keep knocking these guys over. Alright, so let us collapse the treads, fold in the feet, collapse, fold, and now this section can get a little tricky. So you're going to want to make sure that this section right here clips in, and then this right here tabs in, which can be a little finicky. And then you're just going to want to tab it in back here. Do the same for the other tread. Make sure this section clips in first. Then tab this in. And tab it in like that. And there we have Bone Crusher back in vehicle mode. There we have Combiner Wars Bone Crusher. And he is a solid final entry into this series of remastered Constructicon reviews. And I cannot wait to put out the video where we combine all these boys together to form the mighty Devastator. And I cannot wait to see how these guys stack up with their 86 counterparts. It's just going to be such a blast. But yeah, aside from the crotch not staying together, he's a really good figure. So I will see you in the next video, where I will combine Devastator, and I will leave a link down to Bone Crusher's original review. Hey everyone, Soundwave here, and today is the day we've taken a look at all 6 components of Combiner Wars Devastator. So now let's slap all these dudes together and form the mighty Devastator. Off here with Scrapper. So the way you get him into combine mode is you're going to take the bucket and just bend it backwards, and it will lock into place. Take this tab right here, and it will slot right into this slot. And you're going to take the arms, fold them down, and lock them into place. You can see that there's this little notch that will fit in with this little groove here on the arm. So you just want to get it lined up, and it should lock into place. You're going to fold the hands back. We're going to take the canopy, fold it around, take these sections right here, and fold them up. And lastly, you're going to want to take this section right here and just move it out one click. Moving on to Mixmaster. So the way to get him into combine mode is you're going to want to take this section right here, fold it forward, take this section right here, fold it back. You're going to want to take the arms here and just fold them down like so. You're going to take this section right here, untab it, and split it. You're going to want to fold this up. Take this section right here, fold it out, fold this section out like that. Yep, and then you're just going to want to peg this back together. Just try to get all those tabs and slots lined up, and it should peg back together. And then you just put it back where it was. There. And same with Mixmaster, you're going to want to hinge this out one click. So like this. Just like that, just one click. Yep, and there we have our leg bots. Moving on to long haul. So we are going to basically try and get him back into robot mode. So you're going to want to unhook this section right here, like that. Just like I said in my long haul review, you're going to want to pull up on the bucket and push down on these two slabs, like that. And you're going to want to fold the arms up, and they will lock into place. And you're just going to want to hinge this all the way up. Fold the arms out. Move these out one click. There we go. And then you're going to want to take this section right here and just ratchet it down. Fold this out. Ratchet it down. Fold it out. There we go. And this is what I talk about. These flappy bits. This is actually Devastator's waist. So then you're going to want to take this top section right here and just hinge it up, and it will lock in right there. Fold the arms the rest of the way up, and then finally plug the bucket in. And there we have long haul in combine mode. For hook, it's pretty simple. You're going to want to slide this over, fold these sections down, and then you're basically just going to want to fold them in half. Like that. Then you're going to want to fold these sections down. Then you're going to want to open this up, flip this out, close it back up. Take the section right here, fold it out, and there we have hook ready to go into combine mode. Now for scavenger, it's pretty simple. You're just going to fold the bucket back, untab these front sections right here. You're going to want to take this entire section and just unclip it, fold it out, and rotate it down like that. Then you're going to want to just tab those treads back into place, like so. And there we have scavenger ready to go. And now finally for bone crusher. So you're just going to want to take the bucket, extend it out, and basically do the same thing you did with scavenger. Just fold it back down, and there we go. And now we have all of our Constructicons prepped and ready to go.
Constructicons, merge into Devastator!
Alright, so you're going to want to have Scrapper and Mixmaster in this orientation, because we're going to take long haul here, and then there's a slot right here, which will correspond with this T-tab right here. These two slots right here will correspond with these two tabs, and this clip will go right onto this tab right here. So just to show that off, so you're just going to want to slot that into place. There we go. Right like that. You're going to want to clip in this side first because it's the easiest. You're just going to want to make sure that gets nice and tabbed in. Oh wait, this is the wrong leg. Sorry about that. Okay. So you're just going to make sure that gets slotted in. You're going to want to do this side first because it is the easiest. Then you're just going to want to push this side in and just line up everything, and it should clip into place. And now that's Scrapper combined. Take Mixmaster, and you're just going to do the same thing you did with Scrapper, so that you still have that same T-tab. You're just going to want to line it up and slot it into place. Yeah, just slot it into place. There we go. Then you're just going to want to do the same thing you did with Scrapper. And this can be kind of scary because you do have to bend and flex things a little bit. And it's scary because you don't want to break this guy. And so you just want to hear that snap. And now those are the leg bots fully combined with long haul. Alright, just had to move the camera up a bit so I can see what I'm doing. So for hook, you're going to want to take this peg and this clip. This clip is going to go right into here. And this peg will go right into the smokestack right here. So you're going to want to make sure that, you're going to want to make sure all of this lines up like so, and that should, you want to get the clip in first, and then put the peg into the smokestack like so. You just got to clip it in, and it should just go right in like so. There we go, and that's all of that connected. Now we're going to spin our attention over to the side, and we're going to hook on Scavenger. So what you want to do is you want to hinge this up. Well, actually, you're just going to want to hinge the whole arm up so you can see what you're doing. So you're just going to want to get this locked to peg into here. There we go, and it will just peg on like that. Then you're going to want, and then there's this tab on the hand there, on long haul's hand, that will go into this slot right here. So you're just going to want to make sure that tab's in properly. Make sure you have everything lined up properly, and then just tab that in. Then you can move the arm down. And then you're going to do the same thing with Bone Crusher. Just want to do the same thing with Bone Crusher. And then once you have Bone Crusher hooked on, you can just take the bucket and it'll just rest right here. Then now we can focus on all of the accessories that Devastator came with. So the missile pods, and now I'm going to explain to you why I like to have Scavenger and Bone Crusher hold the missile pods, because as you can see, Scavenger and Bone Crusher form the arms. Well, the missile pods that I like to have them hold form the hands. So you just fold it out and rotate it, and then there's his hand. And then you have this peg, which will go into this port right here. Then you're going to want to do the same for Bone Crusher. There we go. Then we're going to take the shield and the swords. So you're going to want to take the shield, and then you have these two clips right here and this black clip right here. These two clips will go into Long Haul's front grille, and this black clip right here will go into that port right there. But you want to have it connected like this first, because then you have these two tabs which will go on these two slots right here, and this post will plug into that port right there. So you're just going to want to align all of that up and make sure all of that is nice and plugged in. And just plug all that in. There we go. And all of that should, if you have everything lined up correctly, it should just snap into place nice and simple. Then you can take the other sword, which just has the two tabs and the two slots, and it will just peg on to the chest right there. You're just going to want to make sure that it plugs in nice and secure like. There we go. And there we go. Now we have Devastator's chest plate. And now for this arm, we can take the last two accessories right here, which form his gun. You put it together, put the gun in the hand. And the final thing you want to do is take this panel right here, fold it up. It will tap in like so, and then rotate this around, revealing his head. And once all that is said and done, you have your mighty Devastator fully combined. And he is all kinds of hugeness. So let's get a closer look at that head sculpt right there. Nice menacing head sculpt with a lot of that nice silver that we saw on the individual Constructicons. Lots of nice molded and sculpted detailing all throughout the combined mode. He just looks spectacular, and he does, and he's got some good heft to him. He's a hefty boy. So as far as articulation goes, the head is on a swivel. It can look left to right. It can do the full 360, but that panel likes to come undone. It can't really look. Well, I guess he can look up if you undo that panel, but that just looks weird. But he can't. So he can't really look up or down. The arms can rotate. They can do a full 360 on some very tight friction joints. They do go in and out. You do have bicep rotation, 90 degrees of bend at the elbow, wrist rotation. The hands can open and close. He does have a waist joint, but you do want to unclip Long Haul's bucket here from the back. So he does have waist rotation. The legs can move forward that far. Can't really move back. Outward, he can do the full splits. On some very tight ratchet joints. Does have thigh rotation. Does have less than 90 degrees of bend at the knee. And the feet can't really move up or down, but you do get that ratcheted ankle tilt right there. So yeah, he's a hefty boy, and he is very posable for a combiner of this size. Now for some size comparisons. Here he is with 86 Prime. He just dwarfs 86 Prime. Here he is with Concept Art Megatron. Just dwarfs him too. Here he is with another big boy. Here he is with Siege Jetfire. He's like maybe like two-thirds the size of Combiner Wars Devastator Jetfire is. And for one more size comparison, you guys already saw this in a previous review, but I'm gonna bring him out anyway because he's another massive bot. Here he is with Fort Max, and Fort Max just towers over him. Autobots. So there you go. So there we have Combiner Wars Devastator, and all in all, he's a solid combiner. I do like how he is sold as a box set, so that way you don't have to go through the trouble and financial difficulties of hunting down each individual Constructicon. I like how he's also sold as a box set, and he does hold up pretty well. He's got some good plastic quality in him. He's posable. Each of the individual members have their own like unique like pros and cons. He's just a blast all around to have if you have the funds for him. And I can't wait to see how he stacks up with 86 Devastator. So I'm going to try and leave a link in the description down below for a purchase link if I can find one. And I'll also leave a link down to the original video before it gets eventually deleted. But that was Combiner Wars Devastator, and I will see you in another video.